Alright, so this takes 9 part boxes that are filled up by machines and merges them. So that pattern is always going to be the same. That pattern's always going to be the same. That pattern's always going to be the same. Which means that when those 3 patterns get merged, this pattern is always going to be the same. So what that means is when the parts go into the box, that makes sure that they always take up at least 1 slot. And then every part that comes behind them just fills up the slot that they took up until that part is full, and then it just takes up a new slot and repeats the pattern. So that ensures even distribution of all of the parts. And the reason that that is important is you could hook that up to a box that just dead ends, and eventually that will get full and stop, but as soon as you take parts out, it'll start putting parts back in the same pattern. The reason that's important is you can hook it up to a box, a drone, a train, and it'll always ensure that all of the parts have taken up a slot, at least 1 slot in the inventory of whatever you're putting the parts in. What I'm using this for is I'm going to run a conveyor line, all the way across the map over to where I've got oil, and I'm just going to put a box there and let it fill up the box with all of these parts, because I have to keep going back and forth to get parts to work on this stuff for oil. But this solves that problem because this has all of the basic parts that you would need. Like, this is the 9 most commonly used parts. For shipping parts and making sure that you get at least 1 stack of every part that you're shipping, this is, for like, if I hooked it up to a drone, I could be anywhere in the map and throw down a drone port and a biofuel thing and request, the Toolbox drone and have, motors, rotors, basically everything. And then when you ship the drone back, it unloads into the sorter, so you don't have to worry about ever having extra parts or being out of parts.